Ugh, my hair is not happy tonight. Okay. This is what we're going with. Happy February 1st. It is time for my monthly reading wrap up. This month in January, I read 7 books. So I surpassed my goal, which is to read 6 books a month. So 7 total. I only have 4 of them physically with me today because 2 of them I read on Kindle, and then one of them I let a friend borrow. So I'll talk about all the books. I'll talk about them in order, give my rankings, and yeah, it'll be just like every other reading wrap up. I did a book at the beginning of this year that was my 5-star books of 2021. So if you're looking for some other good book recommendations, I recommend checking that video out. But stick around for this one and hopefully you'll get some more good recommendations. Okay, so the first book I read this month was, what was it? What was the first one? Oh, Daughter of the Siren Queen, which I read Daughter of the Pirate King in December, and I talked about how much I loved it. It was one of my 5-star books, so of course I had to read the second one, which is Daughter of the Siren Queen. And this one was good. Honestly, loved it. I really wanted to give it 5 stars. It was like a 4.5. It was not as good as the first one, Daughter of the Pirate King, so I felt like I couldn't give it 5 full stars, but it was very close. I loved it. Honestly, it should have been 5 stars, but I highly recommend this series. The first one, obviously, I loved. It was 5 stars. This one, just as good. And next, I read Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers, which the movie for this just came out this month. And so I pretty much always reread Redeeming Love over like the Christmas break before I go back to school in the new year. And this year was no different, except I really wanted to read it because the movie was coming out. So I reread it. It's always been a 5-star book. It will continue to be a 5-star book. And again, 5 stars. I love it. It is probably my favorite book. Like, if you ask me, like, what's your favorite book of all time, I will probably say Redeeming Love, just because the message and story is so good, but it's also, like, genuinely good writing, good storytelling. And I recommend it to everyone. It is a Christian, like, contemporary book, but I do not think you have to be a Christian to enjoy it and find the story really good. The next book that I read is The Kiss Thief, and this was a book that I read on my Kindle. I'll show you what the cover looks like. It's like this was a little bit different than books that I normally read. It's definitely very spicy, so don't recommend if you're not looking for that. If you do want some spice, then I recommend it. It is like a mafia book. The main girl is the daughter of the mafia, like, crime lord in Chicago. She gets married to this guy who's trying to get revenge on her father, and he, like, blackmails her father into marrying her. It's this whole ordeal, but it's like enemies to lovers. He hates everyone but her. Lots of good tropes, but kind of dark, because there's mafia based, So what did I give it? I think I gave it 3 stars. 3 stars. It was very good. It's just not my, I say very good. It was good. It was just not my cup of tea. I wouldn't choose it. But it was on my TBR and I was looking for like a quick kind of fun book. And so I bought it on Kindle because I didn't want to have to wait for anything to come in. And once I started it, I obviously wanted to know how it ended, but I wouldn't have chosen it if I had done a little bit more research into what the book was actually about beforehand. So if that's what you like, then it's probably really good for you. The next book that I read is When You Get the Chance by Emma Lord. This is brand new. It just came out at the beginning of this year. I think on January 4th. It was it when it released. And I have read, I think, every other Emma Lord book. You Have a Match, Tweet Cute. I think those are her only 2 other books. She might have some other ones, but I've read You Have a Match and Tweet Cute, and they were both like some of my favorite books. I really enjoyed them. It's YA, so it's good for young readers. And I still enjoyed it even as not a young adult. So it's good. It's like Mamma Mia vibes, where the main girl is trying to figure out who her mom is. She doesn't know who her mom is. And she has 3 different candidates for who it could be, and she wants to meet them and see if she can figure out who it is. And there is a little bit of a romance, but it's definitely a subplot. The main plot is about her finding out who her mom is. So I recommend. I gave it 4 stars. And yeah, it was a good book this month. And I like Emma Lord a lot, so I recommend any of her books. Next, I read Second First Impressions. I don't know. It's so bright up here. The lights, just whatever. Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. I've read, what is another book by her? Something. I've read some of her other books. Oh, The Hating Game. The Hating Game is by Sally Thorne, which they just made into a movie. I made a whole video reacting to the trailer about it. If you haven't seen that, you should watch it. So I really liked The Hating Game. So I wanted to read another Sally Thorne book. So that was this one, Second First Impressions. And I gave this one 4 stars, I think. Let me check what my Goodreads says. 4 stars. It's very good romance. The main character works at a retirement community, and the love interest comes to like work there, but she kind of knows that he's not the type of guy that she's supposed to end up with, so she fights her feelings for him. There's some tension there. And obviously, based on the title, they have a bad first impression, and it's about like kind of your second first impression. So I thought it was really good, very cute. Sally Thorne always does a good job, so I recommend that one. And next, I read another Kindle book. It's called I Hate You More. It's by Alexandra Moody, which this is what the cover looks like. It's like 2 people hating each other. It's childhood, like family friends who are rivals, and fake dating, and all those good tropes put together. I think I gave it 4 stars. I give it 3 stars. Just kidding. The spice level is minimal, but it just wasn't my favorite. But to each his own. I just didn't love it. But I wanted a fun romance book to read, so that's what I did. And last but not least, this one had been recommended to me so much. My mom read it, some friends read it, and really recommended it. The Midnight Library by Haig. was very good. I gave it 4 stars. The premise is a woman commits suicide, but instead of dying, she goes to the Midnight Library, where she gets a chance to choose different choices that she made during her life and kind of redeem some of her regrets and see which life she would want to live. So she gets to, in the library, she gets to pick a book and read and become part of a life that could have been for her. It's honestly very, it does deal a lot with mental health, and I think talks about it in a really good way, and was just very kind to mental health issues and a lot of other things. So I think this book is a really good one. If you're looking for something a little bit more serious. A lot of these were romance books or young adult, but this one I think is outside of my normal genres that I read, and I really enjoyed doing something a little bit different, a little more serious, a little bit more grown up, and it was very good. So I gave this one 4 stars. And that is the 7 books that I read this month. I felt like I did pretty good. I had a busy month starting back up with school, so I met my goal of 6 books, and yeah, I enjoyed most of them. I just started ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses, literally today. So I only own the first one, so we'll see how I feel and whether I'm like hooked and need to read all the other ones, because I know they're like long. The first one's not that long, but after that they get really long. So we'll see if I enjoy it. But that was next on my TBR, and I wanted to see what all the hype was about. So I will obviously keep you updated on Instagram, on TikTok, and next month with my reading wrap up, I'll let you know what I thought. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you on my next video, which I have already filmed. It's my rom-com tier list, so if you love rom-coms, come back for that video and you will hear my opinions on what rom-coms I think are great. So you won't want to miss it, and I'll be vlogging coming up probably for Valentine's Day, because that's always a fun time to vlog, and I have some fun plans with my friends. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye.